Can you just say your first and last name and spell it?
Sure. Terry Modesitt, Terry Modesitt, Modesitt.
In your position?
Vigo County Prosecutor.
Okay, so what can you tell us? Let's start with that.
There was an allegation made concerning law enforcement, and according to law enforcement's policies, that if there's any kind of allegation with regard to any law enforcement officer, it's referred to our office. Once it's referred to us, then we obtain an independent agency to investigate that. In the present case, with regard to an allegation that was made, we have contacted the FBI, and they will be doing an investigation, and then they will be reporting back to us. And then at that point, there's different ethical guidelines we're required to follow, such as we're not allowed to talk about any specifics as far as allegations at this point. Once we get a better feel when the investigation's done, then there will have to be a decision made as to whether or not there has to be a special prosecutor, and there, like I say again, there's different, or whether we'll be allowed to handle that under the ethical rules that we're required to follow.
Okay, so moving forward, what's next? Like, what's the procedure?
Next is, right now the FBI has agreed to do the investigation, and we are waiting on them to complete their investigation. They will then turn their investigation over to us once that's completed, and then we will review it and then make a decision at that time what, if anything, should be done.
Okay.
I know you said you couldn't say too many specifics, but is this pertaining to the chase, the one with Chance Kernstein, I believe was the name of the person that ended in Lewis? Are you able to say that?
Yeah, I probably can't comment specifically at this point about what it's concerning in any way.
Is it a police brutality type complaint?
I can't comment specifically again about what the complaint is, but there was more than one complaint. So,
how long will these? I mean, obviously each case is different, but do you know about how long something like this might take?
it depends on, you know, what the FBI discovers and determines needs to be done. My guess is that we'll know something within the next 2 to 4 weeks. But again, it depends on how far it continues to expand, as far as, you know, if they take a statement from one person, then they find out that now that leads that they need to look at another person or need to get additional statements. So it just depends. But my guess would be, and also it depends on how busy the FBI, because obviously they have a number of investigations all going on at the same time. So, but my guess is we'll know something at the longest within the next 30 days or so.
So I guess, how often is it for you that you have to call in an outside agency to sort of help out with, you know, with something like this?
According to ethical guidelines, anytime there's any allegation against any law enforcement officer, we have to get an independent agency. Which, like for instance, normally, if there was any kind of allegation with regard to a deputy sheriff or the Terre Haute City Police, then normally we get the Indiana State Police, and vice versa. And so we always select an agency that's not involved at all as far as in the allegations.
And I don't know if you can make any comment about the officers involved. They're on paid administrative leave. Can you make any comment about that?
I can't. That would be an administrative matter. And again, I mean, at this point, we don't even know the extent of the allegations until the investigation is complete.
I guess this might be a specific too. Are you able? I probably not. But are you able to say who kind of brought forth the allegation at all? Or
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't.
Did the police department turn it over to you?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's under their rules and regulations. If there's an allegation made with regard to anybody in their department, then they're required to turn it over to us. Again, trying to encourage transparency, trying to encourage that there's no conflict of interest, and that everything's handled all above board.
I can't think of anything else to ask you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you have anything else you You can say it. You like to say it all, or
No, other than, it's just gonna, I mean, a lot of things happen, that's turned over to us. Sometimes it ends up being something that we have to take action on. Often it ends up that there's no action to be taken. So it just depends on the facts and circumstances of what occurred, in this instance. And once we get all that, then we'll have a better feel for what needs to be done next.
Dick, we got to just kind of talk about the climate that we're in now regarding police and having this allegations out there. Obviously, we have to take those seriously.
Yes.
And you have to do your due diligence here.
Yeah, and I mean, quite frankly, any allegations of that sort have always been taken seriously here in this county. So, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, everybody has their own opinion of how something should be handled, which that's why this is a great country. But we will know at some point all the specific details, which the public probably will never know all the details. But the right thing will be done based upon what the investigation leads us to at that point. And as far as I know, during the time I've been the prosecutor, it's almost 14 years here now, I mean, I've never seen anything that wasn't handled appropriately according to the book, which the first step of law enforcement is to send it to us, which they did in this case. And in the past, I'm not aware of any cases where they have not done that.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh.